And we're live. All right. Let me send a tweet out.
Do your thing, sir. Oh yeah, I should probably just tell you I probably won't be on next week.
Okay.
I already have
Everything okay?
plans. Oh yeah,
Okay.
I'm gonna be at my friend's house again, and I'm not trying to deal with the internet. So I'll watch, but I probably won't be on.
Sweet. I'm glad you'll be in the chat supporting from afar. Look, it's Wisebot. He's back.
He never goes anywhere, Vince. He's a bot.
literally here for that reason.
We shut off Nightbot because Nightbot was yelling at the people in our chat, but
Yeah.
Wisebot can stay. Wisebot's chill.
Yeah.
We fucks with Wisebot. Nightbot sucked.
Didn't want people using caps in the chat or foul language, and that's
Which
not.
is all Justin Toxin.
Listen,
So
I
like,
was gonna say, like, this is our kind of show. Like, we use foul language and sexual innuendo. Like, that's what they're here for. If they can't participate,
the
Exactly.
show is called Smackin It Raw, obviously.
which I'm just hoping that someone saw @ Willow Raven and Smackin' Raw and said, I need to figure out what the fuck she's doing, and then shows up. Like, that's
Yeah.
You know, people have been wondering when I'm going to be on Pornhub, so now I'm excited to be able to finally
there you go.
Hey,
do it, debut.
nice.
Hi, Allison. Hi, Hunter. Yeah, no, I had the day off today, Hunter, so we ran early.
I like it that way.
Well,
I like it when you come early, man.
That's you go? No.
What? What did I say?
I
Did
always
I-
take it as a bit of a compliment. I'm like, oh, it was that good? All right. Like, you know,
See?
maybe that's just like my brain trying to make myself feel better about it.
At least that's what my girlfriend tells me.
I got to see you twice a week now, too, Vince.
No, you don't.
Yeah, I
Oh.
do.
What?
How come?
I'm going to see you on Tuesdays at noon when we do Creation World live every Tuesday. And I'm going to see you on Fridays when we do this.
What?
Yeah, we're doing a weekly show Monday through Friday about all that nerd-ish stuff.
So
Yeah, like-
Creation Conversation is going to go from what it was to a daily 1 hour-ish news show, probably starting next week. And it's going to be a rotating cast of everyone in Creation World. So it'll be like me and Travis on Monday, me and Vince on Tuesday, Travis and Vince on Wednesday, Travis and Mara on Thursday, and then me and Mara on Friday. Around lunchtime every day. So
it's just the
talking-
4 of us?
well, yeah.
I thought the rest of Creation World was going to, like, hop
Who's
in
the
there.
rest of Creation World?
The Creation World is you four. What are you talking about?
Well, there's John, but John doesn't really do all that. Hey,
I've seen John once.
Actually, I prefer it when Will comes early. That way I know he's here, his presence like soothes me. Like, I was panicking. I was at a total fritz when I was in Katie's chat yesterday and Will was nowhere to be
Because he
seen.
had no one to flirt with. That's why. He doesn't even care about my show. He wants to flirt with Will.
Will's been flirting with me too, so I think he's a little jealous.
Oh no, I can be poly with Will and you. Like, it's fine. I'm okay with it. I don't mind sharing.
You should probably start the show.
Ha!
Hey.
And then no.
No, I listen to it all the time. I tell all my friends to smack it raw.
Following podcast contains mature content. The views and opinions expressed by the host are not necessarily those of the host. Listener discretion is advised. Ladies and gentlemen, my God, did I miss hearing that? It has been 2 weeks, 2 long weeks that the fans of the Smackin' It Raw podcast have had blue balls, but do not worry. We are back to help you get that release and we are not going away for a very, very long time. I am your host, the patron saint of podcasting, the Warden Matt Ritter, and I am here with my co-hosts this evening, as always, Miss Katie Kinsey Bebe, the host of the She Lead Showcase Inside the Mind of In the Crowd, and Story Time with Miss Katie Kinsey Bebe, as well as the Shaman of She Lead. And winner of the race for 2022 Pornhub Poppy, Daddy Delgado, the Sultan of Spitter Swallow, my friend Vince.
That is home, Matt. That is home. It's been
But
2 weeks, man.
it has.
You're a lot
And
of
if this menage a trois of people wasn't enough for you, we decided to make it a group thing. We have a very special guest with us this evening. She is Canada's favorite spicy content creator. At least that's what I'm telling everyone. As well as a wrestling enthusiast. It is Willow Raven. How are you tonight?
I'm fantastic. Thank you so much for having me tonight. I'm excited.
Absolutely. This is going to be fun. And as always, the banner under which the Smackin It Raw podcast exists is Creation World. And you guys can find us as you are right now if you're watching live on YouTube or Twitch at twitch.tv/Creation World and youtube.com/Creation World. But go to It's Creation World, ITSCREATIA World on Twitter and Instagram, where you guys can get all of Creation World's content. We have some very exciting things starting next week for you that will be happening. So stay tuned for that. And if you enjoyed the intro as much as I did, hearing it again for the first time in 2 weeks, go check out Heel Tactics _ our boy Justin. Not only hooked up Smackin It Raw podcast, but all of the podcasts we generally hang out with and work with intros and things like that. All of Katie's 20 shows, Vince's shows, everybody. Guy does great work. How's everyone doing? How are the holidays? Did you miss me?
I missed you guys. I will say I didn't miss taking notes while watching wrestling, but I missed interacting with you guys on a weekly basis. So I missed you guys. I just didn't miss the work.
I mean, I've still been doing my show, so this is nothing new.
I've been on vacay for 2 weeks.
What's that like?
You should partake. You should partake.
I
Me and
didn't
Matt can host Chili Showcase.
What was that?
Oh, I took a break from the internet, and it was really refreshing, but very strange.
Mhm.
But it was all basically because I love GCW, and I really wanted to be at the Showboat for New Year's, and I couldn't be there, and so I was like, I can't see all of my friends there because it's going to break my heart. So I decided
Fair
to just
enough.
not go on the internet.
That's fair.
Yeah, no FOMO for this girl.
It's weird because I pride myself on never, unless Travis forces me, I don't take days off. There was one day last year that I ended up getting COVID and I was really sick that I ended up not coming on. But other than that, I am always here, always doing something. And Travis always makes me take 2 weeks off at the end of the year / beginning of the year. So coming back, it's always weird. And I apologize to anyone if we're a little rusty, but I'm sure we'll flow right into it. And for anyone that's new here watching the show, listening to the show, probably because Willow's here and you're like, hey, what the fuck is she doing? This is how the show's going to work. First and foremost, I'll run down some news and rumors. We'll chat about that for a little bit. And then we'll get into the meat of the show, the Spitter Swallows, where I will go around and ask everyone one simple question: spit or swallow. And they will pick something from the week in wrestling that they watched that they either enjoyed, swallowed, or spit, which they didn't enjoy. And then we'll discuss those as well. Also want to shout out Jesus, Will, Tim, Allison, Hunter, everyone in the chat. Thank you guys for joining us. We appreciate it. But let's get into the show. Now, since we were off for 2 weeks, we didn't get to do this, but I want to make sure we do this. We send our condolences to Don West's family. Rest in peace, Don West, who passed away last week. We weren't here to talk about it, but we do want to extend our condolences to Don West's family after he passed away, and his friends and everyone in the wrestling community who, is saddened by his loss.
Mm-hmm.
It was announced that Money in the Bank is going to be in London at the O2.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
Yes.
excited about British Money in the Bank. Maybe
Pounds in the bank.
Teabagged in the bank.
Teabags in the bank. I'm
Okay.
with it.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
All right. Billy Corgan decided that he was just going to put Power back on YouTube and forget the whole fight thing because it's just not working. And honestly, I think it's his choice in who he makes champions, not anything else, or what he says about not having enough available women to do, another show
Mhm.
that are TV ready. Those things are probably why the views are down, not necessarily because you're not on YouTube anymore, but that's neither here nor there.
Yeah, crazy. What a wild concept. I know.
Women being able to wrestle. I don't know. Who knows?
Who would have thought?
It's insane. And then last but not least, to celebrate the National Republican holiday that has now become January 6th, Vince McMahon decided he was just going to storm the boardroom. And he reinstated himself in the boardroom. He fired 3 people, brought back 2, and then 2 more people left. And it's all in chaos. WWE stock is up, and the good Republican that Vince is, he's celebrating his national holiday today.
Not this, Vince.
No,
Could be that,
no,
Vince. We don't know.
Super wide
Might
open.
be in
See,
better hands. Maybe it was.
I would like to imagine though that when he made that tweet where he sat down and tweeted out that he's he's retiring, that he was wearing a salmon jacket like Mark Henry, and this was all a plan. Like this was all just long-term storytelling, and he knew what he was doing.
See, Vince and Kenny McMahon can catch hands for multiple reasons, but the fact that man tweeted it on my birthday, I always remember. Tweets his retirement on my birthday. I was like, this is the best birthday ever. This is fucking awesome. And then this not even 7 months later. No. Rude, disrespectful. Ruined my birthday. Ruined it.
So
Rude.
Allison loves Willow's hair, which I think we can all agree
As she
on.
should.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Jesus said Braun, Raquel, Lacey, and Karrion all took notes on Vince plotting a successful coup. It's only a coup if it's a coup de grace from the region of France. Yeah. That's our chat.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
You guys have any more thoughts before we get into the spit or swallow on Vince or Money in the Bank in London or Billy Corgan being a jackass, which it hurts because he is from Chicago, but
I don't blame him though.
Chicago, it is what it is.
I'm gonna say about Money in the Bank is that I'm glad it's in the UK. I'm glad they're getting more like pay-per-views over there. And last year they had an issue about selling it out in Vegas. I don't think they'll have any issues selling it out in the UK.
No.
So I think that's what you should do, like going forward. It's just like put one of the big 4s over there in the UK, or at least a big enough pay-per-view.
Well, if you're counting Money in the Bank, that'd be one of the big 5, actually. Apparently.
Vince can only count to 4. Don't pick on him. It's not nice.
I always forget the thumb.
It's
I think there's always like a really interesting fan dynamic when they go into a territory that they're not often in. Like, for example, AEW had their first Canadian show this year, or well, I guess technically last year. And I was there, and I had tried so hard to get tickets when it first went on sale. And I'm hearing people being like, "Oh, they can barely sell tickets in certain cities in the US because they're there so often." So it's really like to see the new blood of people, who don't often get to go to those shows. It has like a different like reaction from the crowd because they're not used to it. So it still has that novelty effect. And I think that when the crowd who's there is really into it, it really affects the viewing experience at home. So I'm excited to see if that's going to be the case and if it's kind of going to like revamp my excitement for WWE. We'll see.
maybe.
You mean
Maybe.
Paul's booking and all the NXT darlings coming back hasn't reinvigorated your fire?
So here's the thing. There's like 8 hours of WWE
Yes.
a week, and I do not have that much time. I used to watch religiously when I was like with someone and we were living somewhere that had cable and I could just like DVR pass through a bunch of stuff. I don't have cable anymore. I don't like the network. So in Canada, we still have the network.
Lucky.
And it still only like shows us the shows like a couple weeks after and stuff. So it's just like I just can't get back into it right now. I'll still watch some pay-per-views here and there. The Rumble is still my favorite pay-per-view of all time. So I will definitely be watching that. But week to week, I don't know if it's pulled me back enough. I was like going to start, and then Vince came back, and now I'm like, I
Yeah.
don't know.
She
Which
said,
is fair,
"Thank
and
you."
that's why we love doing the show, and that's why I try and get as many guests on as possible, because there is so much WWE, which I told you in a DM, like I feel like WWE generally dominates most of our conversation, because the three of us, focus on mostly Raw, NXT, SmackDown, Dynamite, and occasionally Rampage, which isn't my favorite show to watch, and sometimes I forget. That AEW show doesn't do it for me as well as Dynamite does, but
It's also
that's
literally
neither
on
here nor
right now.
there. Well, yeah, but like generally when we do the show, it's after. So and
Touche.
sometimes I forget, but I love we'll have you back on because, like you said, GCW. I have Warren Hayes on as often as possible because he'll come in and talk about New Japan, and then I'll tease him and mispronounce all of the wrestlers' names and titles and things like that. And I love getting people who are into like Impact and things that we don't normally talk about on here, because there's so much wrestling that you don't have time to cover it all. So when someone's into something else that you don't watch and you get to hear about it and talk about it and see how much they love it, then it's either going to take the people who are listening and be like, all right, let me go check that out. Or I may go check something out because they talked about it so passionately. So that's one of the many reasons why I love getting guests on who have a different perspective from what we generally do, which is what we're going to get into right now, what we generally do. All right. Would you like me to start with you, or would you like to,
Okay, you know what? I have a list. I brought a list with me. So
Okay.
I can start. Okay.
Willow,
So-
spit or swallow?
I want to swallow AR Fox and Swerve Strickland.
Okay.
Yes.
Incredible match. Both of them I think are just so like at their peak. Maybe not at their peak, because that's saying that, you know, maybe they'd be going down later, but like they're so good and put on such like energetic, like charismatic wrestling to me. I saw AR Fox at the Collective this year, blew me away. I was gonna say, can I swear?
Oh,
but obviously
absolutely.
I can swear. But yeah, just like fucking blew me away, and just was really excited to see him sign to AEW, and thought that was really an interesting match, and just absolutely loved it. So swallow that, real nice indeed.
I'm with you on that. Like, I loved the match. The Swerve story with Keith Lee and all that has kind of been a little clunky, but the match itself, I'm still not sure about his two white friends. You know, whatever.
Now we're kind of white people.
The tattoo guy.
Yeah, Tom McDonald
don't know the name
and
of yet.
Discount Brock Lesnar. Like, I'm not sure about those guys, but we'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
But no, the match was absolutely fantastic, and I enjoyed the shit out of it. Like, those guys can go.
Oh,
Absolutely.
100%. AR Fox is probably one of the best people they've signed. And
Absolutely.
Swerve has been fantastic for so long. And the fact that now, I think it's already been like, what, almost a year since Swerve's been signed?
I think so.
Probably close to.
Yeah.
And I feel like now he's finally starting to shine. Again, I don't like what was his name in NXT? Harland?
Yeah.
No, and then discount Lance Archer. I don't understand. I don't need either. It doesn't make sense. I'd rather just have Rick Ross on every week with Swerve.
Big motherfucker.
Like accusations. Like he's been on twice in just moments. That's what they need. That's exactly what they need.
Yes.
Any thoughts, Vince?
No, I agree. I thought the match was really good. It was one of my favorite matches on Dynamite this week. I actually watched Dynamite, even though I skimmed through a good portion of it.
I bet I can guess which part.
Yeah, the whole beginning of Dynamite.
Yeah,
The whole beginning of Dynamite. But no, it was a great match. I love AR Fox. I've seen him wrestle live. I love Swerve. I've loved him ever since he was in NXT. So fantastic match. A++.
All right.
Okay.
Katie, spit or swallow?
All right, I'll do a very, very large swallow. We gotta start off big, right? New year. Everything Bloodline.
Oh, we're doing the whole thing. The whole thing.
The-
Raw, SmackDown,
well-
all of it.
Well, we have to.
Absolutely.
We have to. They start off Raw and SmackDown with this NXT gang style warfare, coming in hot, wrecking shit, demanding things. It leads to the Raw locker room beating the shit out of them on Raw. Roman comes out on SmackDown, gets in Sammy's face. I got scared. Jay had PTSD in the back. There was a lot going on. Just, this has been such a good story, and like we've been saying it for months. Sammy is a vital and the vital part and heart and soul of the bloodline. Everything he does has been fantastic these past 6-7 months. And now that you're adding the layer of, well, Roman was very, very close to probably kicking his ass and kicking him out of the bloodline tonight.
Mm-hmm.
And like with the Kevin Owens stuff, it's so fucking good. This is one of the only reasons like I'm still like fully invested in SmackDown is because of the bloodline and Sami Zayn. So all of it, swallow multiple times.
I mean, fair enough. And not just what you talked about, but Adam Pearce found his balls and even managed to threaten Roman Reigns a little bit on Raw.
Nope.
You had the 3 matches. You had the 6-man tag match and then solo singles match. And I love me some Solo Sikoa on Raw. We had Roman screaming at Sammy, KO coming out and kind of cutting it off, challenging Roman to a match at the Rumble, Roman accepting, and then Roman apologizing to Sammy for the way that he talked to him in a very, very manipulative sort of kind of backhanded way.
Listen, Roman is a gaslighting girl boss. That's what Roman Reigns is. Am I right?
No, you are.
You're not wrong.
Like, gaslighting girl boss to the 10th degree has been Roman the past 2 years. Started with Jay, and now he's working on Sammy.
We're getting KO versus Roman at the Rumble. KO said he was done with Sammy, but then tonight he said when Sammy can dig his balls out of Roman's purse, he'll see him again. So that door's still open. And Roman is easily manipulating Sammy by forcing him to wrestle KO next week, putting him in that position. Also, Sami Zayn jizzing popcorn all over Roman's locker room after the Usos won their match tonight was, I enjoyed that. Just shaking it everywhere. That was fun. But yeah, no, everything Bloodline has been fantastic. And they started off SmackDown the same way they started off Raw, which was fun, reminding us that it's 2023 and there's still no fucking brand split. So,
well, I mean, they're champion. They hold all the belts. Obviously, there's not going to be a brand split for them.
Solo doesn't have a championship, neither does Sammy.
They're part of the bloodline. Solo's the enforcer. He goes everywhere.
Yeah, no, only the titles should allow you to travel.
There's no brand split. It doesn't matter.
There's no brand split. It doesn't matter. Yeah,
that's why. That's why. Because there's no brand split. If there was,
you're a brand split.
Anyone else got anything on the bloodline?
No.
Can I just interject with like a personal story about Kevin Owens?
Yes, please.
Okay. In Dallas this year, okay, I was outside of a hotel and the Undertaker walked by me and I started crying. While the like WWE crew were like, no, like it's totally normal. We totally get it. Not embarrassing at all. Like you're good. And I was just like, I'm just like really emotional. And they were like, no, yeah, totally fine. And as I'm crying, Kevin Owens bumps into me and he's like, oh, sorry. And I'm just like, what is happening? And then the next day we're in the airport and I'm telling my friend this story. And I realize that Kevin Owens is in front of me and he turns around and I'm like, really great job this weekend. Big fan. And he just goes, and then goes and sits like 4 terminals away. He was just like, no, I don't want to hang out with these marks. Like, you guys can wait. And like, I'll board the plane with it.
To be fair, I would also break down and start crying if I saw The Undertaker in person, feet from me. So,
I think Matt would pass out.
I might, like, no shame.
Was not expecting it. Like, literally, he walked out of an SUV. So we were just like hanging out and he just walked out and it's The Undertaker and he's like 7 feet tall. And I'm just like, what just happened? Amazing. Best moment of my life. Having a grown man walk by me.
We love it.
So I've been to a few conventions and met celebrities, got signatures, and like I had a huge crush on Lita. I was able to talk to Lita. There's one person that I have just, for whatever reason, not been able to speak to. Like I went up and I'm like just lost for words, and it's Danielle Harris. Um, a huge Halloween fan and have loved her since I was a child. So I went up to her and I just kind of looked at her and she's like, "Would you like a picture?" And yeah, my wife's making fun of me the entire time. The only other person would be the Undertaker. That would like just dumbstruck me to where I couldn't speak. And I just be like, "Hey, hi." Hey. And I probably no, I get it. But that's
100%.
really cool. And you should have no shame, like at all. No.
No.
Vince, spit or swallow.
No shame in this swallow. I'm swallowing Mercedes Moné's NJ New Japan Pro Wrestling Stardom debut. We all anticipated, everyone kind of knew it was happening. The whole Twitter world was buzzing, trying to figure out how to watch Wrestle Kingdom, how to download New Japan World. At Dylan, shout out to Dylan. He was like DMing me, making sure that he knew how to do everything. And that was one of the main reasons I tuned in. It's actually the only thing I tuned in for because like my stream was just choppy and I just fell asleep. But I loved it. It was fantastic. Only critique is I'm not sure how I feel about the hair. It's an interesting choice. It's different. It's unique. So if that's what she's rocking with, I'm cool with it. It's different. It hit me differently. And then the headpiece, I wasn't a fan of the headpiece because it looks kind of like the Selena Vega crown, and I never liked the Selena Vega crown. But me personally, nitpicking aside, loved seeing Mercedes out there. I love that she's going to face Kyrie. I'm all for it. So swallowing Monet.
I have a take on the hair.
Yes.
I've seen a few.
That's what I was waiting for. I saw the faces Katie was making. I'm like, I'm just going to shut the fuck up and let her go.
I have a few takes on it. Cool. We've never seen, it's rare to see something like that. I've seen a lot of people speculating because that's all wrestling Twitter does. It was more so her burning it because there were fire. It was fire in the hair, burning the Sasha Banks because it was blue hair, blue print, everything like that. So next time we see her in New Japan, I'm assuming it'll probably be at Battle of the Valley in February. Yeah, I know my stuff. I have a co-host who knows things. I got this. So, yeah, that people were talking about that too. So maybe when we see her next time, it'll be different color hair because like she's had like pink, she's had the blue, she's had purple, I think.
Purple, red. She's been blonde before.
She's had a lot. And then she just has her natural hair color, which is also beautiful. So she could do anything. I just think it was an interesting take on the hair, especially because people were just like, "Oh my god, it's Sasha Banks and wrestling." Oh my god! Like, I personally slept. I didn't fucking care. I knew I would wake up and see it all over Twitter. So
true. No, I just kind of stayed up for that one thing. I just wanted to watch that because it's Sasha. I had to support her. She's in my Mount Rushmore of all pro wrestlers, so I just had to support it.
Well, Will said he was up for 30 hours to watch fan fiction, which is what I call New Japan. I call it Japanese fan fiction. We can talk about that in a minute. And write 250 words for one of the articles that he did. But looks like he really enjoyed Wrestle Kingdom 17. Yeah, no, I was the same as Katie. I knew that I didn't need to stay up because that was really the only thing from Wrestle Kingdom that I was like, this is something I really need to see. But I knew I didn't need to stay up for an entire show to see that because I knew as soon as I woke up on Twitter, it was going to be everywhere. If not before I went to bed, because I go to bed late as shit. I go to bed at like 2-3 in the morning anyway. So like I knew I was going to see it. So I opted to wait as well. But her taking on her own destiny, saying, you know, I don't need WWE. I'm going to go make a name for myself, and bringing Trinity with her because they left together, and everywhere you see Sasha, you see Trinity, and that is a friendship. That is a friendship and a bond that I respect the hell out of because she's over there in Japan with Sasha, not on the show, not a feature like Mercedes Moné was, but she's there doing these things along for the ride. And I'm excited for both of them to see what they do. And Mercedes. I'm gonna get it right. I will fix Mercedes is gonna be someone that will get me to tune in and at least watch matches in Stardom and things like that. Like her versus Kyrie, that is something I want to go check out. Like that is something I will absolutely get out of my bubble to go see, because I am a fan of her and she is fantastic, and I can't wait to see what she can do outside of the WWE style, because that's all I've ever really seen. So
100%.
I get really emotional at wrestling when people like reach their dreams. And so I'm just very excited for her as a person, because it seems like this was something that she's been really, really wanting. And so just excited for her and to see what's going to happen and follow along with that journey a little bit. I think it did actually make me tune in to Wrestle Kingdom, not at the time because there's no way I'm staying up that late or that early, I guess. But I did watch some clips of it and like watch her entrance and, you know, the promo that she cut afterwards. And I think I'll probably tune in a little bit and see what her journey in Japan looks like.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the whole thing. Like, everyone, you had the WWE fans who were like diehard WWE fans who were like, she betrayed WWE. Get the fuck out of here. Like, anyway, people are stupid.
Their jobs.
They are. Like,
it's their job. Like, you're allowed to change places that you work.
Yeah.
100%.
It's a workplace. You're allowed.
I've got 2 people on the show who have changed places that they've worked, and also had very similar names in the 2 places that they've worked. So, neither here nor there. But yeah, no, like, the fact that she's bringing in people who were fans of WWE, who aren't like diehard, I only watch WWE and that's all I care about. But like, I care about the wrestlers. One of the reasons why I enjoy AEW is they have a lot of wrestlers. Keith Lee, Malachi Black, you know, a lot of people I love that I wanted to continue to watch even though they were no longer with WWE. It wasn't a WWE versus AEW thing, and it never is for me over here. So if she's going to go over there, she is someone I'm a fan of, and like, that's the whole point, is bringing in someone that's going to get views on Stardom, which has already had a rocket ship on its back this last year, and bring that mainstream appeal to Japanese wrestling and what they're doing over there beyond where they've been so far. So it's fantastic.
And you know, credit to her, because this is the most buzz I've seen about, and it's not just her, but she's a big part of the reason why. But this is the first time in years that I've seen a lot of buzz behind the Wrestle Kingdom since like before the pandemic, because like the pandemic really like deteriorated New Japan, and then also the Elite leaving also really hurt them. So like they've been trying to like climb their way back up the mountaintop. But yeah, they got hyped, so I'm happy for New Japan, because I like the promotion even though I don't watch it as much as I used to. That's
fair. I'm gonna ride the Willow train with my Swallow. So she started off with a really good match. I'm gonna go with the best match that was on SmackDown tonight, Santos defeating Kofi Kingston, because that match fucking banged. Santos obviously took note of all of the tutelage that the Don gave him and put that to use.
Okay, come on.
What? He
Forget
beat
about
former
it.
WWE champion Kofi Kingston in the middle of the ring on Friday Night SmackDown. He clearly learned something from my boy Tony D'Angelo.
Facts is facts, Vince. I don't know why you don't get it.
I can't with you guys.
Forget about it.
I don't understand.
Carry on.
Yeah, that's my Swallow. I'm swallowing that match. It was fucking great. And I was happy to see Santos get the win over Kofi. That's a big win for him. That's a big deal.
That's a big dub.
Yeah, I'm here for it. I swallowed it too. That was one of the few swallows that I did have on SmackDown from what I was managing to watch in the background while I watched the Bulls game. Yeah, Kofi versus Santos was fantastic. I'd love to see Santos continue getting wins. I think he could be a big piece in WWE. Like, he could be what they wanted Andrade and Alberto Del Rio to be. Like, he can be that guy because he can talk on the mic in both English and Spanish, and he can go in the ring.
A lot of love for Uganda's thighs right now in the chat. So,
that's
Coochie Uganda. That's right.
I know. Yes,
Okay.
yes. We still need to make a list so I can give it to my co-host so she can start pronouncing things right.
Right.
We got time.
We'll figure it out.
But along with that, a special little side swallow to Xavier Woods for after Kofi hit the SOS, he started singing Kofi's old theme song. That just popped me. And I just love the two of them together. So that was just a special little swallow because Xavier Woods is a gem.
I didn't actually catch that.
I just love friendship. Like I love
Yes.
friendship in wrestling. It's just so wholesome and lovely.
JJ, I feel like every Friday you're on Smackin It Raw. Sunday you are at church repenting for the things you say on our show. I really
yeah.
do.
She's
Because
saying
I know
Hail
you
Mary.
go. I know you go to church. I know you're a church girl. But yeah, no, I guarantee every Friday after you're here, you have to go and apologize on Sunday for the stuff that we get out of you. And I appreciate you joining us, JJ. Thank you. Willow, spit or swallow.
Okay. This is such a silly one. But Swallow, the person that was on Dynamite with an orange hat and glasses had, like, they were in the front row, had the most excitement that I have seen from a fan. Just like the entire time looked like they were having just the time of their life, and it made me have a better time watching it. I just like, again, kind of like what I mentioned about Money in the Bank, like the crowd reactions pop me, like, and I just love seeing people really excited, and I was just like, every time they were so pumped, and made my experience a little bit better too.
Well, to add to that, that is one of the biggest things I have to give to AEW is the people that are there in the live crowds are there because they love the product and they love the show, and their crowds are almost always fantastic, regardless of where they're at.
Almost like
Almost.
sometimes, okay, like last week, I think it was maybe last week or the week before, there was someone out there with like a sign about how they hated the show or something. And I'm always just so flabbergasted because, like, you are paying money to attend this event and you are going there with the intention that you're going to hate it. Like, you're already like assuming that you're not going to like what you're watching. And I'm just like, how miserable are you that this is the experience that you're paying for?
With that,
Uh-oh.
I supported Mandy Rose after she left, at least for this month. And she did a live last night that I was checking out. And there were people in the chat who were like, oh, we spent all this money and we still haven't seen anything yet. Because she was in a nice lace bra and panty set talking to everyone, and or like complaining about her content, this and that. And I'm like, you're paying her to come here and complain about what she's giving you, which you should at this point probably know what you're going to get. Like, you see what she offers. She has a menu. She sends out DMs with, you know, what you could buy. And if you spend the money on it, you see what it is and you know what you're going to get. So why are you giving your money away to just complain about something that you weren't getting before this existed in the first place? Like, that's number one.
Let me give you, so as a little bit of background, so I'm a content creator full-time. This happens a lot because the amount of times that people will sign up to my page and then get mad that I don't have like some certain thing on the page. It is clearly listed in my bio what I do and do not provide. And people will often just get mad. And it's just that people just assume that if you have like a specific page, they just are like, oh, it's you're doing this. But like, did they say that they're doing that? Like, you can't get mad that she's not like giving you the content that you're expecting when like she didn't tell you that she was going to provide whatever you have in your mind.
Exactly. So if every content creator just specifically made content for everyone, then nothing would be unique. Nothing would be, you know, you could just get anything you wanted anywhere.
Right.
So
like, yeah, like for some reason, everyone thinks that I'm a dom, which I'm not. I think
all the leather.
I really like
I
leather.
Yeah.
Like
leather.
I like a lot of leather. And so then they get like, why are you doing like hardcore stuff instead of just like, you know, a dom persona? I was like, where did you get that idea? Like none of the stuff that I've put out, but that happens a lot. When did it happen? Because now I'm wondering, like, did you talk about the whole Mandy Rose stuff on the show? I'm assuming you did in the past.
It was our last episode. We got
Okay.
to talk about it right before our 2-week break. So
I won't bring it back up then.
Yeah, no, we definitely did. And I told everyone, I'm like, listen, you know, go support Mandy. If you're a fan of Mandy, go support Mandy. Like that's all I can say at this point. Whatever happened, however it went down, like if you do love her, because I absolutely loved her in NXT. I thought she was doing great. I thought she had really improved in NXT. I thought she was ready for main roster, all these things. I was like, if you really care about her as a person and not just the company that she works for, then give her your money and go support. And I did. And now I'm here telling you all that I gave her that subscription fee for a month to see what she was offering, which I have permission with celebrities to do for my wife. She's knows about it. She's 100% okay with it. Jenny Neidhart, Mandy, she, as long as, you know, they're famous and she knows I have absolutely no chance of ever actually having a conversation with them, she's completely cool with it. So, but yeah, no, just go support your favorite content creators and whatever they're doing, whether it's wrestling or sex work or anything. And maybe read a fucking bio before you spend your money and subscribe. Because if you're looking for a girl to jack off an octopus with her feet while pulling anal beads out of her ass, some of these girls might not be for you. Like, not everyone's going to do that. You got to go find someone that's going to do that. That's the whole point of why there's so many out there. So
Also, you know, if you're watching the show on Pornhub, you know, you could always just go up on the search bar and search up for exactly what you're looking for. There's
That
always
is
that.
also true.
that is. Katie, spit or swallow?
Sorry. I'm going to swallow Alexa and Bianca. They recreated a scary movie spot in the match. Funny as hell. Scary Movie 3, yes. And we talked about it. As soon as we found out Alexa was gonna be Bianca's next opponent, Twitter went wild because Alexa's been, you know, spooky Alexa again. So everyone's posting like the Brenda stuff from Scary Movie 3, and they recreated the entire fucking part. Her swinging at her, the kick, everything, holding their head. Funny as fuck. The people in the crowd with the masks, I liked. A lot of people didn't. I was about it. It added another layer to this because we still don't necessarily know what is going on with her relationship, I'll put it in quotes, with Bray, the Fiend, Uncle Howdy, everything like that. And then her finally snapping when she saw the Titantron thing. I was about it. And then she busted up Bianca's face. So we're probably going to get that rematch at Rumble, which I'm okay with. Because then Rhea gets her match at WrestleMania, and that's all I want. That's all I need.
Honestly, yeah, that's probably the only match I really want right now for the women's title on the Raw side of things.
Oh, I'm sure we'll get to the other side. But Katie, you know I'm with you. This is my shit. Like,
Yep.
This is my shit. I love Dark Alexa. I'm still going to need an explanation as to what her relationship with Bray is, because I still have PTSD from him screwing or her screwing him over at WrestleMania, and that's not going to go away. I need that explained and not ignored. But also, I thought about this from her point of view, though, her playing the victim, her blaming Bray, like, that makes sense. So, like, that part I'm okay with as long as it's coming from her, as, like, her relationship with Bray, she felt like the victim. She felt like she was manipulating. That all makes sense. So I'm very curious to see where it goes. Scary Movie 3, he put it in there, Cindy, the TV's leaking. I hear Brenda saying it in my head. And the fact that it was, like, as soon as they announced the match, everyone was posting it on Twitter, and then they took that and put it in the match was absolutely fantastic. Loved it. So, yeah, I'm with you on that. That's big swallow.
Ditto.
Vince, spit or swallow?
Speaking of swallowing, I'm gonna swallow Shinsuke Nakamura snowballing the Great Muda's miss for the win. I thought that was one of the, aside from Mercedes Moné debuting in New Japan, I thought that was like the greatest thing in wrestling. Aside from, there's 3 things fantastically that happened this week in wrestling. That's one of them. So I'm all for Shinsuke locking lips with the Muda and then just spitting in his face. You know, he took it all in the face. I'm with it. Took it like a champ.
So now, I listened to Warren's show, and I know he talked. Apparently, Muda did a press conference after and had to make it clear that he's not gay and may or may not have used a slur about what Shinsuke did. So that aspect of it and all of that, I'm going to spit. However, Shinsuke going out there and just being motherfucking Shinsuke Nakamura, sucking the mist right out of his mouth and spitting it back in his face, as you said, snowballing the mist. Apparently, we got 3 kinds of mist in that match. Yeah, big fan for that.
Yeah, Shinsuke, if you're listening, I'll take some of that mist, man. Bring him out.
Why the fuck would Shinsuke Nakamura listen to this podcast?
You don't know. I mean, he could be on Pornhub.
Ho. Ouch.
Listen, it's Shinsuke.
Yeah, and he
I don't think he-
surfs,
I
and
don't think he.
I'm sure he surfs the ocean and then surfs Pornhub, and he saw
There
my
it is.
fucking face and said, "Let me sit down and watch this shit."
If we keep saying his name, though, he might.
Manifest.
Yeah, he
We
might.
just gotta click our heels 3 times as we say his name.
Take it easy, Dorothy.
I am wearing red.
I'm gonna spit that Madcap is still fucking Madcap. Like, we had the intergender tag team match tonight, and the fact that this man is still Madcap Moss pisses me the fuck off. Why can he not just be Riddick Moss? Why are we still calling him Madcap? Yes.
I thought you were going somewhere different with that. I thought you were saying I'm spitting the fact that Madcap is still fucking Emma, and I'm like, wait, pause, time out, Matt. Why?
No.
That's
I'm
that's
sure that
fine.
they do some really attractive, fun shit that I would love to watch on the website that you can also find our podcast. I would watch that all day. Same thing with, even though I'm not a big Cross fan, same thing with Cross and Scarlett. I'll watch that all day. Scarlett gets to swallow here 7 days a week. And also from Illinois. So shout out to Scarlett. No, Madcap, the fucking name bugs the shit out of me. And that
Okay.
in and of itself is a spit.
I
But
just
we
thought
also
you
got
were-
to see Scarlett wrestle. So
Yeah, that's
Sure.
one of my swallows is like finally get to see Scarlett wrestle in WWE because I've been wanting to see her wrestle.
the only relationship that's rumored that I have an issue with is Gigi Dolan and the dude from the Rascals, and that's mostly just because I'm jealous and I call him Trailer Park King. Nash
Oh.
Carter.
Okay,
Yeah.
never mind. As soon as you
which
said it, I knew.
Yeah.
I'd be jealous.
I don't know if that's still a thing or not, but that was the last I had heard, and I'm just very jealous because Gigi's fine as fuck. So
Mhm.
that's all that is. That's just pure jealousy. I'll admit it.
Great. Point.
But yeah, fuck Madcap, or the name Madcap, not the person. The name.
Okay, gotcha. Sideshow Bob.
Raven, spit or swallow.
Okay. I'm like focusing on swallows right now because that's my favorite. So the fake out on Dynamite during the tag match. Do you know what I'm talking about? I don't know, because I know that you guys didn't really watch, but so
watched it.
during the Acclaimed versus Jay Lethal and Jeff Jarrett, they had a fake out where Jeff and Jay won, and then it was reversed. And the amount of like legitimate anger that came out of my body when that happened, I was like, did they just win? Did they just give Jeff fucking Jarrett a tag championship?
Mhm.
Oh
The-
man,
But
the audacity.
the like the reaction that I had was just like so pure that I have to swallow it because like good job, because you got me. I absolutely fell for it and I was ready to just like throw my laptop across the room.
So fun fact about that. I had to watch Dynamite twice. My initial live viewing was interrupted quite a bit. It was a very busy Wednesday night, so I had to go back and watch it. So I didn't see the fake out the first time. I, in my head, saw them win, and then shit happened. I didn't see that the match got restarted. So in my notes, it was a spit right off the bat because I was like, why the fuck are we doing this? Why put title? No, don't do that to the Acclaimed. Like, I was pissed. And then I rewatched it and I kind of tuned out because I was like, I don't want to have to fucking see this again. And then I heard them announce that I was like, wait, the match got restarted? Oh shit. And I saw them win, and then I popped. Like I was happy because, like you said, then it wasn't a thing because I am not the biggest Jeff Jarrett fan.
Nope.
Double FJ, double RE, double T does not do it for me. However, last thing I want to see him do was take titles off the Acclaim because I love Anthony Bowens and I love Max Caster and what they've been doing. They've really won me over. I was not a fan at first, but they definitely Vince first, and then eventually Katie and I came along behind them. All about
you guys took a while to come,
big
but
Scissoring fan. So
you came along.
Okay.
No, I'm with you. I actually knew about them retaining the titles and then having a rematch at Rampage, so I didn't get upset when it happened because I watched it after the fact. And the only reason I even knew they got a championship match at Rampage because I watched Shilly Showcase and I found that out. I was like, oh, I guess they
Well, Battle of the Belt.
Battle of the Belts, whatever, same
What is on
difference.
right now?
I'm not watching it. But yeah, I'm
Totally
spitting
don't
I'm spitting the fact that Tony Khan has the Acclaim booked with Jeff Jarrett and Jay Lethal. That's what I'm spitting stuff, because I love the Acclaim. They're one of, if not the main reason I tune into Dynamite every single week. And they're like in the program with two people I cannot stand and cannot care any less about. So it just makes me like be disinterested in everything they're doing. I have it playing in the background, but I can't do it.
Jay Lethal is like a just like enthusiasm vacuum to me. Like there's just nothing about him that is interesting. Like I don't get it. I really don't. And yeah, the fact that that's what we're getting right now. I don't know. I mean, like good for Jeff Jarrett, I guess, for like still going out there and doing his thing. Because I like maybe when I'm geriatric, I'll also still be working my job. That'll be nice. But like I just why are they in the main event like tag picture?
Nah.
There is an audience for that, by the way, so you are safe.
Phew. I'm already getting into the MILF categories. So
Yes, queen.
I'm just saying there are a lot of categories, and I've seen Granny in there. Mature, it's there. You're good. You'll be doing this for a while. Fuck Jeff Jarrett. Like it is.
Also, fuck Karen Jarrett too. She out here getting pissed that people are dragging her name in the mud, throwing false accusations, but she's out here throwing false accusations to other people. So
Well, yeah, she's a Karen. That's why.
Oh, it's all part of the work. Like she knows she was married to Kurt. Now she's married to Jeff. She's been in the business. She knows how it goes. Like she's just throwing fuel on the fire. It is what it is.
can I just make a very retroactive spit to the fact that I saw Max Caster and he didn't rap? I was really disappointed. I went to a
That's
wrestling open
disrespectful.
show and he didn't rap. He was like, "You guys don't deserve a rap tonight."
Was he wearing a dress at least as Bobby Lashley's sister?
Ah.
No, none of that either. Oh well, shit. Katie, spit or swallow.
Oh my god, we're back to me. Shit. I'm gonna swallow Chad Gable and Dexter Lumis. Y'all know me. I love me some Chad Gable. Beautiful human being, very well utilized recently in the past year or so within WWE. Matt and I both love Dexter Lumis, so that's up our alley as well. The match was good because once you let Dexter, like, ignoring all of the spooky shit and the stalking and the things he does, which are fun, he can actually, like, wrestle, and people forget that. So letting him go in the ring with Chad fucking Gable, who is probably legit Kurt Angle's child at this point. It's perfect. And then you have like Otis just being Otis, the outside. It's fine. I like this. I don't know what they're going to do with Dexter, but have a few more matches with Gable. I'll be all right with it. It was good.
I'm with you. I think both members of Alpha Academy played very well off of Dexter Lumis's character. Like Otis being legitimately freaked and jumping when he was at ringside when he saw Dexter Lumis get up close to him. Like I just love it when wrestlers play up and play into other wrestlers' gimmicks and characters. I just love the commitment. So I was all about it. It was great. I just don't like that there's no follow-up from the Bronson Reed fiasco after he screwed him in the ladder match.
I think he's coming back. They did a video package for him. They probably just like gave him like a week or two off. He might be having visa issues. We don't know.
Maybe.
See, I'm more with Vince on that point. That was like, I'm straight as the day is long, but I'd let him choke me out and pat my head. Like, I love me some Dexter Lumis. Like, no problem. I wouldn't even feel bad about it. However, the fact that all of that happened, Miz got his money back, and then now we're just in a singles match with Chad Gable, and there's no like acknowledgement really. Like Miz didn't come out. Like we just kind of ignored that. That bothered me a little bit. So
that's kind of like what I was thinking about. I was like, so they're just pairing off Dexter Lumis in a random match. I'm like, okay, but like he should have some kind of motivation now to like go after Bronson Reed. That he was nowhere to be seen for 2 weeks. And then they just did a video package, which I thought it was a little whack. As long as they pick up on it when he comes back if he is having any sort of visa issues
or whatever's going on. It's not like Dexter can cut a promo, so like I get it.
That's true.
But
Pictionary promo.
yeah, you could do a Pictionary promo.
He's a great drummer.
Ben, spit or swallow?
I am. You know what? We already talked about it, so I'm just gonna bring it up. I'm spitting Samoa Joe losing the title to Darby Allin. I can't stand it. It soured the taste in my mouth because I'm watching this match. I'm like, Joe's gonna beat the shit out of Darby. There's no way he's gonna get that title. He was the king of television, man, and now Darby's champion. Why?
Because they were in Seattle.
I hate it.
I know Darby had a special moment with a child that he signed.
Nick Wayne. I love Nick Wayne.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm the only person who doesn't understand all of that.
I don't.
Like
You're not
who
alone.
Nick Wayne is. Like I didn't understand any of that.
Okay, so give me
a lesson,
30
please.
seconds. Okay, so Nick Wayne is Buddy Wayne's son, and also his grandfather was in the Moondogs. So he is like a third generation wrestler. Incredible, 17 years old, like incredible prodigy. Has been wrestling mainly with like GCW, Defy. Has gone off to Japan and stuff. Just like such an incredible talent, and like. So they signed him on a futures contract. So basically when he finally turns 18 and graduates, he is going to be part of the AEW roster. So that's kind of why they had him there, because he's kind of like sort of already signed with them. Darby was trained by his dad. And so he's actually the one who offered Nick the contract when they were at, I think it was at Defy, about like 6 months ago or like 10 months ago. I can't remember when it was, but pretty great for a kid.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which is fantastic for a moment. However, I love fucking Samoa Joe, and it broke my heart to see that.
You love fucking Samoa Joe?
Yes, I do. And he
Everyone
loves
should.
it too. Very slippery man. Neither here nor there. Hi, Kyle. Hail Satan. So no, I was like, there's no way Darby's winning this match. And then I saw it, and it really just kind of took the wind out of me. I was very disappointed. I'm not the biggest Darby Allin fan in general, which you'd think like I didn't really go through an emo phase, but like he does the coffin drop and the skull make, like you'd think it'd be in my wheelhouse, but it's really not. Like he just doesn't do it for me in or outside the ring. And yeah, no, that sucked.
Yeah, he seems like someone that My Chemical Romance Vince would have loved back in the day, but even still, I can't get behind him. But, you know, shout out to you, Kitty, because he's one of those wrestlers that I can't stand, but he has a really good theme song. I hate that
That's
I like his theme
next
song.
week's question, Vince.
Great theme song.
Mm-hmm.
It's I kind of the same thing with me. Like I love a spooky character. That's always been kind of my thing. And so when he first came out, I was really into him, and like he was doing all this kind of like death defying shit, and like he was doing stuff with like Joey Janela and things like that. And it was really fun. And I think ever since he got with Sting, which I know is maybe like not a popular answer because I know people love Sting, but I feel like it kind of overshadowed him. And then like, I just don't care about Darby anymore at all. And so I don't care about him as TNT champion. I like, for some reason, I thought it was his third time, but I guess it's just he had like a long title reign initially. But like, I think Samoa Joe just would have had such a better storyline going forward, and he's just such a fucking great wrestler. Like, I don't know where he goes from here. That's the thing that I'm a little bit worried about.
They're just gonna stick him on
ROH.
Ring of Honor, which
He
they
didn't
don't
lose
even have
his
anything yet.
He didn't lose his Ring of Honor TV title, did he?
No.
Okay, because I could have sworn I saw the match graphics say that it was for both the ROH TV title and the TNT title.
Thank God, no, because that would have really, really, really made me sad.
Like, War Daddy was right there. But no, give it to the emo kid. I was gonna fuck myself, whatever. He cut off Wardlow's hair. I'm still pissed.
I just hate the tights with the shorts. I hate the tights with the shorts. I need him to not do that. He has like the smallest legs, and it makes it just so unbelievable. Like I can't suspend my disbelief most of the time.
So
chicken legs.
would you prefer him to lose the tights and just go full Daisy Dukes?
I don't think that's the move either.
I think if he just has his cargo shorts, he's fine.
Well, if you ask Vince, he'd like to see him in assless chaps because that's
No,
Vince's favorite.
no. I only want to see Dakota Kai and Hangman Adam Page in assless chaps, and I haven't gotten that from Hangman.
And Vince, what are all chaps?
Not on Hangman.
Assless. Good answer.
All chaps are assless. I'm gonna finish off SmackDown for me. I'm spitting Michael Cole, saying that the Giant Gonzalez versus Ronda match was the draw from last week that got the highest view in 2 years from SmackDown. Not apparently John Cena being on the show. Like they're like, Fox is so happy with us. This was the biggest rating we'd had in 2 years, and it was because of a match like this. And then they show Giant Gonzalez versus Ronda Rousey. I'm like, that was not it. Nobody knew Charlotte was coming, so that's not why they tuned in. And I guarantee nobody tuned in to watch Raquel Gonzalez versus Ronda Rousey. That was not the draw, but nice try. It was definitely John Cena being on SmackDown is why everyone tuned in for the last SmackDown of the year. So, also not a fan of Giant Gonzalez and Ronda, so like not giving them any credit either.
We don't claim Giant Gonzalez.
I know you don't, Vince. We know. So yeah, that's my last spit for SmackDown.
Jesus says that Darby should just cut off his legs. That's dark.
So fucked up.
You know, it's funny that's because we were in the chat, in one of the chats, and Dan was in there, and Will made a joke from Forrest Gump about, but you got no legs, Lieutenant Dan. That is the first thing that popped into my head as soon as I read that.
Lieutenant Dan, ice cream.
Yeah, poor Lieutenant Dan. Willow, spit or swallow.
Okay, let me go back to my list because one of my swallows was literally just Samoa Joe's chops on Darby Allin.
Ooh, Samoa Joe chopping.
It was just so good, like that man. Anyway, all the things are kind of the things that we talked about. Spit was Vince McMahon's return, just not
yes,
and probably something that you guys have already talked about, but like. My spit, I guess, would be just the women's division in AEW continuing to just be an afterthought. The fact that they always have the women in the exact same time slot makes it seem like they just have like a little grid and they're like, I guess we got to put a women's match in there today. Like, let's just put them together. And it's always like a tag match that like doesn't usually advance the story. At least this week it had a little bit more of that. So we had some stuff with Red Velvet and Jade and everything. But like, I just wish that they would invest in that division a lot more. Like they're bringing in these great wrestlers.
Yeah.
And then they just don't give them anything to work with. And they just give them one match a week and like maybe sometimes like a little bit of a promo or something. And it's just so frustrating as a fan. And that is my spit. Gross.
Well, we have talked about that. And one of my big things is like a lot of people give NXT a hard time, but NXT features more women's matches per 2 hours than any mainstream wrestling company on cable.
They're about
you
to
get more bang for your buck
week
with women's wrestling than you do anywhere else if you watch NXT. Now, to your point, I had something specific to the women as a spit, but I agree. You know, we've talked about it. You have all of these women, you brought in all of these women, and they get relegated to one match a night on Dynamite in the same spot. Also, then you have Saraya in her tag match with the women's champion Jamie Hayter and Britt. They're doing backstage stuff, and this is kind of like everyone hyped up who her opponent was going to be, and we all got excited, and then it ended up being Toni Storm, which, not going to lie, like, Sheeta's reaction was fun, but that was kind of a letdown for me. Like,
yeah,
that all that hype, and yes, Katie?
I was going to let you finish, but finish your thought, and then I would like to express some things.
My thought is I was blue ball.
No, you can edge me, please. I'm interested.
I am so sick and tired of people being like, oh my God, Mercedes Moné is going to be Saraya's partner. No, the fuck she's not. If you think about it, what is she in New Japan? A heel. What is Saraya in AEW? babyface. It doesn't make sense. You can't go homie hopping around promotions as different things.
Homie hopping.
That's gonna fuck up your
Cross-promotion.
career. Especially with her just starting in New Japan, taking out their champion, calling her a bitch in a promo, and then hopping on a plane to LAX, because they're in LA next week, and being like, oh, hey, Saraya, formerly known as Paige, let me be your partner. No, that doesn't make sense. And then just bringing her in as like a one-off, because she shouldn't sign with AEW, point blank period. Their women's roster is too inflated, and they, like Willow said, they do not use them properly at all. It fucking pisses me off. I'm so over this conversation.
Unless they brought in
No.
Mercedes, she teamed with Saraya. She turned on Saraya afterwards because honestly, the best work she does as the boss fits more with Britt and what her friends do than it would be hanging out with anyone else. Not that she should sign with them, but I'm saying if she stays a heel and turns on Saraya in the tag match and beats her down, and then they save that match for, something at a pay-per-view, a big time match between those two, I'd be okay with that.
No, because if you have her join with or be on like the side of Hayter and Britt, you're overshadowing Jamie Hayter again as she's champion.
That's true.
And I don't want that because Jamie Hayter deserves so much better than this bullshit. I just need Britt to turn on her now so we can get the match at Revolution. I'm already banking, no pun intended, on Revolution going like 18 hours because of things already. So just make it happen.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm not one of those that are like, oh, I don't want to see Mercedes in AEW for the same reasons that Willow just highlighted, that they treat the women's division as an afterthought. They signed Saraya, and she's not really used that much. They got Toni Storm, they had Thunder Rosa, they had Athena. They've signed so many great talents, and they don't highlight them. They don't showcase them. They only have that here's your little tiny little segment every single slot. And unless your name is Britt Baker, you don't get consistent mic time either backstage or in the ring. And would Mercedes come in there and get some shine more than others? Probably, but I think she's fine at Stardom, New Japan. I'd rather see her go to Impact and challenge for those knockouts titles as opposed to anything in AEW until Tony Khan gets his shit together in that division.
Fair enough.
I think one of the things too is people kind of shoot themselves in the foot with their fantasy booking, and I think that's why people are disappointed about this. Is no one said that it was going to be Mercedes. You just assumed that it was, and now you're disappointed that it's not. You gotta keep your expectations a little bit lower sometimes, because it reminds me of when everyone was speculating who was going to be signed at one point, and then it was Christian Cage, and everyone was just like, oh, I can't remember who it was they all thought it was going to be, but
oh, I can't remember either.
Yeah,
it's gonna bother me.
I wish I could remember, but regardless, it was just it was Christian, and it it's fine, but
woo.
And he's been doing fantastic work over there on the show every week, just killing it.
Don't talk to me about Christian, man. I'm depressed about that.
I know you are. Katie, spit or swallow?
I'm swallowing a potential Hurt Business reunion. They keep teasing me with it. It was in the background. It was in. I like teasing too, but this I need now because I'm sick of this. They teased it. They had MVP talking to Adam Pearce with Shelton and Cedric. They all were talking. I think Damage Control was walking down the hall. I didn't care. I was focused in the back. WWE has trained me. I watch the backgrounds now because they're not getting anything fucking past me anymore. I'm sick of this. I've become a detective. I'm going to watch. I want and need the Hurt Business. I also have people just singing Miley Cyrus in the chat. You're welcome.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Jesus and Allison are just singing Miley Cyrus as we're going.
Because what can I say? But I want Hurt Business. I wanted Hurt Business versus Bloodline in the War Games. I didn't get that. I was very disappointed. You still have the chance. You can right this wrong. Give it to me now, please. Please.
I don't know. I don't know. Like Bobby's where Bobby is. I don't know if that's a step back. I don't know if the damage that they've done to Shelton, and I guess not, because they've done so much damage to Shelton and he keeps coming back. So reserving my judgment. We'll see.
I don't think it would put Lashley down because he's not in the U.S. title picture anymore.
No.
We don't know what the situation is with Cowboy Brock, which fair. Which if Cowboy Brock comes back, I would like another match with the two of them. They can be man and mate, yes. But like heel Hurt Business, even like create a brand split. Create one, actually. Then you can have Bloodline doing Bloodline things on SmackDown, and you can have Hurt Business doing Hurt Business things on Raw. It could work. Make it for the build for next year at Survivor Series. And create a faction in NXT, because NXT should be in Survivor Series again next year. Okay. I just like the Hurt Business. They're the best part of all pandemic.
I'm with you, Katie. I never wanted the Hurt Business to break up. I still think that it can be salvageable. Like it's kind of like when they paired up AJ right now with Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson. It's going to be the same effect, but much better because Hurt Business was just on a different level. I just want to see it as well, especially if Bobby turns heel and everybody a hero, because I felt like there was so much left on the table with Hurt Business that they just kind of like got their legs cut underneath them and they're just going to continue. And they're continuing singing Miley Cyrus songs, aren't they?
Yeah, no, Justin from Get Show, by the way, shout out. What's up, Justin? Wants them to sing Wrecking Ball. Now, Will thought they were singing Wrecking Ball. He was completely didn't realize it was party in the USA. There's a lot going on there.
You're welcome.
Vince, spit or swallow?
I was not partying about the fact that the Elite have tied up the series against the Lucha Bros. They're now 3-3. Next week, Escalera de la Muerte for all the marbles. If the Elite come back from a 3-1 deficit, I'm going to be very fucking pissed because I don't think they need those tight titles.
I told you they were going to already. I told you this 4 weeks ago.
No,
we have been lubing you up for this.
No, I refuse to believe
3
it.
weeks.
Let
you
me
just keep
have
wiping the lube away and trying to take it raw, Vince, and it's not a good idea. Like let us help you.
No. I don't want to see it. I need Death Triangle to retain those titles. And I said it already before. If they come back from a 3-1 deficit and beat the Death Triangle for those trios titles, I'm gonna be boycotting AEW until the Elite drop the trios titles. I'm saying it right now. Do not expect me to recap anything AEW. I don't care if CM Punk, Sasha Banks, and the Ghost of Eddie Guerrero show up on Dynamite. I'm not watching.
Why would the ghost of Eddie Guerrero have anything to do with AEW?
I'm
Vicky's
just
over there.
Oh yeah, well she's been on TV in a while. I kind of forgot. Not gonna
lie. There's only one Guerrero I stand right now. I'll talk about it next.
Yeah.
The thing is that like the minute that they made it a best of 7 stipulation, you knew that the Elite were going to get it because they're still like doing it so that Death Triangle still look good because they've been having banger fucking matches. But they're doing it so that they're not like completely coming back right away and then getting those titles, but they're getting those titles. And I agree with you. I wish they didn't because I think Death Triangle is fucking great. Like they're probably my favorite like trio tag team in AEW for sure. I really think they're fucking so incredible, but the Elite are taking it back.
I refuse to believe it.
In this match, House of Black comes out, wrecks everyone. Lucha Bros and Pac get the win, and then we get the House of Black dethroning.
I'm okay with that. That I'll be okay with. That I'm cool with.
That's what I want.
We stand House of Black in this household, in these households.
And if the Elite are on TV or not, I could care less.
Remember when I said that people fantasy book and then get disappointed?
Us.
You just
might be happening for you.
With House of Black, though, we will fantasy book until the day we die because we want nothing but the best for them.
They're so good. Like, so Aleister
just-
Black was one of the first shirts I ever bought, like wrestling shirts. Like, just love it. I'm hosting a wrestling trivia show like next week, and I was putting together a little playlist, and they took his fucking like the Aleister Black theme song off Spotify.
The best.
I was so mad. That was my like pump up jam at the gym. So I'm spitting that. That's my spit. We can
Fair enough.
Yeah,
I have it set as my my alarm on my phone, but I bought it off Apple, so I still have it.
So you paid for it.
Okay.
Yeah, I did. That was Vince, so it's on me. We haven't touched NXT yet. I am going to spit. After screwing the Don over, Dijak kidnaps and drags Stacks to his sex dungeon for torture and interrogation, and then defeats Stacks, tries to assault him more after the match. Thankfully, the Don makes the save and challenges Dijak to a match. But all of this stuff with racist cop Dominic Dijakovic now taking his anger out on the Italians, kidnapping poor Stacks, dragging him into a dark basement, handcuffing him to a chair, beating him, then setting him free, beating him in a match. You know, Dijak, you're just not like, I need Dominic back. I need the guy that put on bangers with Keith Lee. This Terminator 2-esque look that you have going on where you single out minorities for whatever reason in your promos.
Willow looks so confused right now by your description.
It's not working.
I can't believe what I'm missing. Apparently, this is.
There are a lot of. First off, if you listen to Smackin It Raw podcast, there is always a sex dungeon in NXT. Whether it's Joe Wayne Gacy's or Dijak, somebody, any dark room that they drag someone into is a sex dungeon. So that is.
No.
That's just there.
It is a thing. We just accept it. It's not actually a sex dungeon.
You don't know that. You have no idea what happened there when the camera.
You also don't know that.
You don't know that. I don't.
Also,
into a sex dungeon.
Also, either Uncle
They have
Howdy.
shows about that.
Uncle Howdy has a sex dungeon on SmackDown too.
He does.
He that's where he took LA Knight.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I forgot that.
WWE is full of sex dungeons. Like every arena has got a special sex dungeon that somebody can or will utilize at some point.
Not every.
As they should be. That's what they're for.
Willow, spit or swallow. Unless you want to elaborate on sex dungeons some more while we're here.
I mean, I went to a sex dungeon for New Year's Eve, so I could elaborate a little bit on that, but I don't know. I'm like, that was because I only really watched Dynamite this week because I was on that like no internet and avoiding wrestling for the week. But I'll swallow FTR's theme song, their entrance.
Because it is a pretty hype theme.
How did you feel about the eulogy from the Ass Boys?
Okay, so because I didn't see Wrestle Kingdom, I didn't realize that they lost the IWGP tag titles, and then I didn't realize that they lost their AAA titles either.
Titles.
So I was just like, oh, that's disappointing.
They're strapless now.
Yeah, I wondered like about that. I was like, do we think that each promotion was like, well, you know, you've got too many belts, we're gonna drop it, and then they all dropped it, and now they're beltless, and that makes me really sad. But I love FTR, I really do, and
I like Tash Wheeler.
Is great. So
apparently, you are a hit. Jesus wants to see more of you.
Thank you.
And we will definitely. And Will would like to have you on Botch Spots and Chair Shots.
Ooh, very fun. Next time, I'll make sure to watch more wrestling. Usually, I'd be able to like get into a bunch of GCW stuff, but I was just too sad. I was too sad about missing it.
I understand. You did remind me of something though, Katie. Write this down so we don't forget. IWGP tag team titles equals ICUP double team titles.
Okay.
And we could add that to the ICUP Hungry Man Championship and the ICUP Strongest Uterus Championship. So those are the three.
I need a thesaurus of everything.
We're going to create.
That's what we're doing
one.
right now. She's writing them down. We're gonna make a list. Like,
Because you get mad at
Katsuchi
me because
Uganda.
I can't remember.
Okada
Katsuchi
is Katsuchi Uganda. Like, we've got lists, we've got names. It's all coming together. We're gonna have
Tornado.
yeah, Titty
My favorite
Tornado.
one.
Yep.
Favorite one.
That's your favorite one.
I did write it down though.
You're more than welcome to chime in and hang around with us. If it gets late and you decide you want to go, also let us know. We're gonna keep spinning for a little while longer and try and bang out the rest of what, because like I said, we just scratched NXT, so I'm sure Katie's still on Raw.
I have only 3 things left.
Okay,
Is
Vince watched nothing apparently.
Is it all WWE stuff?
it is.
I have
Because I don't know
one.
that I'll be able to chime in very much for it.
You can ask questions or just say that sounds stupid.
Something
stuff
could
like
pique
that.
your interest.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll stick around for a little bit.
She said,
All right.
"We'll see. We'll see."
And I've also still got some things. I've still got some things from Dynamite. So
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
so do I.
All right, cool.
Katie, spit or swallow.
Okay, where am I? I'm swallowing Seth Rollins and Austin Theory's match because it was a good match, but I'm spitting the fact that Seth might legitimately be hurt.
Yes.
He
Spitting
threw
injuries.
up the X himself after the match, and then got mad at the ref when the ref didn't throw up the X. Corey, because people filmed it after the fact because it was the main event of Raw, and Corey Graves came over and medical wasn't coming out to ringside, so Corey was getting pissed and Seth was getting pissed, so Corey Graves helped Seth to the back. If Seth is legit hurt again and he misses another Mania, I'm going to scream.
He did
What kind
also
of
tweet out. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was just wondering what kind of injury did it seem like it was?
His knee again.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was the same one, but
he also did tweet out
redesign, rebuild, I
yeah.
know.
So
I don't want it.
Yeah, that's a good possibility.
Big sad.
Big sad.
Big sad.
Both him and AJ getting injuries this
Yeah,
week.
AJ broke his ankle. Terrible way to start 2023, guys.
It is, and those are not injuries they're going to be back from in time for Mania, which is sad.
AJ maybe, because it's just
especially if they do it like a tag match or a multi-person match at Mania with them.
As someone who's broken their ankle, I don't know if he'll be back. I've got 2 pins in mine right now, but then again, mine was on the side of my leg, so it was.
We don't know. I just knew it happened at a house show, and AJ himself tweeted that he had a broken ankle. So
hey, Bakley's here.
Hey, Bakley. Vince, spit or swallow?
I'm gonna swallow the fact that Toxic Attraction came out and didn't skip a beat, staying as a tag team without a new leader, quote unquote. I'm glad they didn't just throw someone in there to be the substitute teacher for Mandy Rose, Gigi Dolan, JC Jane. They're fine as is, and especially Gigi. I think she has potential to be a top single star when they ever do break up the tag team. And just let them continue going on with what they're doing. And it makes sense for them to have beef with Roxanne Perez. Even though we're not mentioning Mandy, she took the title off of a member of Toxic Attraction. So they're trying to get comeuppance for Roxanne Perez. So I'm actually rooting.
Sorry.
No, I was actually just going to say I'm rooting for Gigi to win that Battle Royal next week.
I was going to say we also had all of the women on the roster come out and start brawling, which set up that Battle Royal. Which is
that
fun.
led
again,
to the Alba Fire Isla Dawn match.
Could you imagine if on AEW there was a spot where all of the women could come out and get in the ring and mix it up and do something? That'd be fantastic. Tony, could you please fucking watch NXT and take some notes?
No, he watches NXT and then gets mad and then takes it out on the women.
Maybe. Yeah, sounds about right.
I am gonna swallow the Hangman Adam Page Mox segment from Dynamite. Hangman says he's going to knock Mox's dick in the dirt if he's cleared next week. Mox, who is married and knows he can't go home with a dirty dick, is very upset and comes out to confront him. He's like, hey. Hangman says he isn't mad that he got dropped. He's been dropped a bunch. He's mad that Mox made a joke about it after almost, ending his career. Mox says, listen, man, nothing's going to change. We wrestle this time. It's going to be the same ending. And this time I'm going to make it so you don't get back up. So now he's threatening to, this time I'm ending your career. I'm tired of you bitching and whining. We're not doing this again. I'm taking you out for good this time. And the whole thing, the whole back and forth, I loved, especially Mox's dick in the dirt. That was a highlight for me.
I mean, also the fact that the mic wasn't working for Mox. So he literally was just like, what the fuck is going on here?
It wasn't working in the arena, but it was working for us because I heard him just fine.
I could hear him too.
But it was definitely like less loud, but you could still hear it. But yeah, what a way to kill the momentum.
And then he was just like, all right, Seattle Seahawks. Yeah, back on track. Which I give Mox props. He is very good at like getting the crowd back if he needs to when shit like that happens. But he like just dead ass at the hard cam. What the fuck? Like, give me a goddamn mic that works at this point. Like, and as Hangman, like, what do? Just like stand there and like continue to be angry? Like,
just fume, while you're waiting for Mox to get his technical difficulties in order.
Wasn't his fault.
No,
it was a great promo though. Oh, go ahead.
No, I realize I have another swallow, so like. Okay.
Yes.
Oh well, you're next. You're up.
Okay. Bryan Danielson and MJF, so fun, but like I just love how Bryan just looks like he is having the time of his fucking life. Every time that he's out there, he's just like having such a good time, and I'm just so happy that he's back and like being able to wrestle. So that little, I don't know, I love MJF. I shouldn't, but I love everything about him. Like, he goes for the like lowest hanging fruit bullshit, and for some reason it still fucking works. And the fact that he threw out like Disco Inferno and Jim Cornette as his like, those are the dudes who are putting me over, made me lose it. Absolutely lose it.
I'm worried about your taste in men, but that's neither here nor there.
Don't worry, so am I.
I love that you highlighted the Jim Cornette Disco Inferno, whereas for me, it was Bryan Danielson's mom fucks animals, and then Bryan coming back with, well, your mom fucks everybody, including most of the crowd here tonight.
The entirety of Seattle.
He's like, yeah, I made a mom joke. Like, it is what it is. Like, we're here, it's fine. But no, that is on my list as well. Big swallow. First, we got Bryan Danielson versus Tony Nese, whooping Tony Nese's ass. BD calling out Bryan Danielson calling out MJF for a fight, him declining, then the animal fucking and the Jim Cornettes, and then your mom's a whore. And then Bryan Danielson has to go undefeated every week until February 8th against opponents of MJF's choosing. And if he does, he gets a world title match, and he picked the stipulation, and it's going to be an Iron Man match. MJF says that Bryan Danielson's a choke artist, and Bryan Danielson's like, I got rid of my gag reflex. Don't worry about it. We got this. And now he's going to expose MJF to the world in this Iron Man match. I'm all for it.
I'm interested to see how it goes, because like, as much as I love MJF, is he able to do an Iron Man match? I'm interested to see how it's going to go.
60 minutes. And this is the reason why this pay-per-view is going to be 18 hours long.
How long
it's going to have 15 matches.
Question.
That match is going to be 60 minutes. I'm not going to bed.
Vince, why are you so concerned with how long people are going to last tonight? Like, we started off the show there, now we're back. You want to know how long he's going to last? Like,
it's always a thought in the back of my mind, you know?
You should worry about it. Listen, some people are marathon runners, some people are sprinters.
You know who's a marathon runner? Veer Mahan. Now that man took a while to come.
I'm with you. The one thing that did bother me is we know that there is a fun relationship between MJF and his parents, and I'm kind of surprised like he acted offended when like I more so wanted him to come back and be like, I don't give a fuck about her. Like, Okay, she talks shit about me every week. Why do you think that bothers me? She is a whore. Like that's
It's like it's only okay if I call her a whore, not
yeah,
you.
I get that. And that part I got, but
Has anyone seen the Kenny Johnson documentary about MJF?
no.
No.
I've
Okay.
seen like stuff about it, but I've never like watched it.
Definitely take the time. It's like 20 minutes or something like that. It's basically like him interviewing MJF as himself, but then it turns into almost like a crime documentary because it's like, is he who he really is? Is this really his house? Is this really his parents? It's really well done, and it's just like blurs the line between kayfabe, and it's just so fantastic. I've probably watched it 5 times and make people watch it all the time. So definitely take some time out of your day at some point, watch the Kenny Johnson documentary about MJF.
That sounds interesting as shit, actually.
It's really good.
Katie, spit or swallow?
I'm doing a lot of swallowing. I'm gonna spit. I'm spitting the Jassels. I'm over it. Chris Jericho, JAS, all of it. Done. Garbage. Throw it in the trash. I'm over it. I don't fucking care anymore. The fact that Ricky Stark's a beautiful human being. Love Ricky. Ricky all day, every day. Rocket, Moon, put him there. Beat Jericho. Good. Well done. And then the entirety of the Jazzholes beat up Ricky. Action Andretti, good for him. Champ. Comes out with a chair. Does a little bit of damage. I tweeted this because it just pisses me off. Everybody has an issue with someone in the JAS, it seems. Why did nobody else come out and help the two of them? You have 1,500 people in that locker room, and you're not going to have another fucking person come out there and help? No. I hate it. Fuck Chris Jericho. Fuck the Jazzholes. I'm done.
Maybe there was some bomb ass food and catering and no one wanted to like leave.
1,500 people are all eating catering at the same time. That's bad. That's bad. That's not good.
I also just can't believe that one guy's entire gimmick is just that he wears a hat.
I hate Jake Hager so fucking
Like
much.
I just don't. Jake Hager is the kind of person that like I constantly forget is even on this show, and then he'll be there, and I'm just like, oh yeah, that
I love his
guy.
head. Fuck you,
Yeah.
Vince.
Awful.
So Vince
Another
cannot stand Chris Jericho, which is why I knew that was the part of Dynamite that he absolutely just skipped right through. However, I'm with you on the Jazzholes, which I like so much better than Jagoffs, which is what I was calling them. So props to you, Katie. Love it. But Ricky Starks getting a win over Chris Jericho does mean something for Ricky Starks. So Starks getting the win is a swallow.
Yes.
Everything that happened afterwards, because I'm happy that Mario Andretti got to come out and run circles around people and do his thing. And like he got to win over Jericho and like that. But I'm not invested in him yet enough to like care that he's the one that came out. Like it's been 2 weeks and the first week was the first time I'd ever seen you. You got your 1, 2, 3 kid moment. Like cool. Like I'm happy for you, but I'm not I don't know who he is yet to be invested in him. So that whole thing just doesn't really do it for me. However, Starks getting the win after calling his shot, beating former AEW champion, world champion Chris Jericho, big moment for Starks. So that's a swallow for me.
The Ocho.
I'm interested to see where they're going to go with this though, because this is what, like 3 in a row that Jericho loses.
Yes.
And so I'm interested to know like where this is going to end up. Like clearly it's building up to something that he's like lost his mojo or something's going on with him.
Jericho leaving AEW?
Go on tour with Fozzy forever.
Thank you.
I hope it's the MVP storyline where he just keeps losing and goes on like 100 match losing streak, loses all his money, then he becomes broken and he's bum ass Corbin. I hope that's where this goes.
You're combining a lot of different storylines into one.
That's what I want to see.
It's a lot happening.
I want Jericho to just fail.
And I understand that. Like him and he's Canadian Jeff Jarrett at this point, and I don't really need. And the group doesn't do it for me. He had a great career. It's kind of time to like. I feel like he's just trying to stay relevant and make himself the face of AEW, and like that's where he doesn't really want anyone to he doesn't think anyone can surpass him. And there was somebody that maybe was selling more tickets that he kind of tried to keep out of the locker room who may or may not come back, but that's neither here nor there. We'll see what happens with that. Vince, spit or swallow?
This is actually my last swallow or spit of the episode. I'm swallowing Prison Dom, man. I tell you guys every fucking week, you're not supposed to like it, but god damn it, do I love this man. This man had a teardrop tattoo. He had a toothpick. He over here talking about how prison changed them.
He found a new poppy, to go with his mommy. He got a new poppy for the night.
I mean, Ray's not his poppy anymore, so yeah, he needs someone.
Ray was never his poppy.
Rhea was his poppy, now his mommy, but I fucking love it. And then just gonna go ahead and double swallow the Christmas stuff. How Angie Ashley slapped Rhea, Ray Ashley growing up hair and saying, "Let's take this outside," and then the most iconic line of the end 2022. The worst part of prison was the Dementors looking at us. I fucking loved it. No, when Dom was in the cop car and he's like, "Hey, I won't make it in prison." That shit fucking killed me.
They made it a shirt.
Oh, I know. That's Dom. Yo, man, Dom is gold. And not only that, I'm swallowing Dom because he gets everyone's panties in a bunch on Twitter talking about, "Oh, he's not good. He sucks. He's not a good wrestler. There's so many other people that he could be using." Let me play a sad song for you on the world's smallest violin.
So I wanted to highlight Jesus saying the worst part of prison was Dementors, because when I was watching this promo, you say Prison Dom, it looked like he was cutting it from heaven, or where Harry met Dumbledore after Harry got the Avada Kedavra curse, the fucking the white train station. I don't know where he was, if he went to go visit Daddy Eddie for the holidays and they were hanging out having a conversation.
It looked like he was in the mental ward, the ones where it's
I have no idea where he was. He might have died in prison, so that might have been a post-mortem promo.
Maybe
Imagine that's the storyline they go with.
That he's coming back from the dead. It's like the Yu Hakusho.
Instead of the ghost of Eddie Guerrero, you get the ghost of Dominic Mysterio.
I'll take both ghosts of Dominic Guerrero, because
we've seen Vince wrestle God, so why not?
True.
But I actually I hate to admit it, but I'm with you, Vince. I enjoyed that. I thought it was funny. I Won't Make It in Prison might be a good title for this episode. Or what was the other suggestion? Octopus and anal beads.
Octopus and anal beads.
I'd have to ask Travis if we could put anal beads in the title.
I also did write down homie hopping across promotions that Katie mentioned.
Gaslighting Girl Boss is right there.
That we have a lot of options, so we'll let the chat. You heard all those. So Gaslighting Girl Boss, homie hopping across promotions, which seems really long, but if you can make it work, Vince.
Just homie hopping.
Octopus and anal beads, and I Won't Make It in Prison. Those are your options. Please vote in the chat.
I know.
See. So that was everything from Dynamite. Nothing.
Will really wants to have anal beads in the title.
I'm going to swallow the Texas Chainsaw Massacre reference that was made by the New Day on NXT, just because getting off just the very last episode, we did cover the Texas Chainsaw Massacre franchise, and we are planning on doing a Texas Chainsaw Massacre XXX parody watch along for getting off. And just having the New Day join in the Texas Chainsaw Massacre love that has been going on here on Creation World for all of these things I enjoyed. So swallow for them referencing Texas Chainsaw Massacre on NXT.
Yep. It got me so off guard. I was like, he's not wrong.
I'm looking at the chat. They're still talking about titles. Allison also mentioned Snowballing Muda's Mist.
Yeah.
Man.
Will is
Travis, can anal beads be in the title? Since you're here, just let me know. Can anal beads be in the title?
I don't know if YouTube would like that.
Well, that's why I'm asking. See, I run these things by Travis because he's in charge. So if you're here, can anal beads be in the title? Let me know.
He said, yes, that's fine.
Okay. So
it's a contender.
That's gonna be another one of your videos that probably won't do as well because you have that in the title.
I
think it
don't
will
know.
do
I feel like
better
Good
with
one for me. Okay.
It would do something for
Maybe
Willow,
just
yes,
solid.
but I'm just trying
Okay.
to help y'all's brand out. But
I still like homie hopping because that's what we doing up in this chat. It's just homie hopping. Like I got Jesus, I got Will, I got Justin, Matt's in the show with me. Just hopping from one homie to the other.
Travis does have a point. When we do have ridiculous titles like that, it does tend to do better.
There you go.
And it's all about the
Okay.
thumbnail. So we'll get Raven in the
Again,
thumbnail.
I'm just trying to
We'll
help
get Willow in there. We'll find something else. Vince had options.
I want to
And-
Photoshop Prison Dom and Mercedes Monet somehow in the title together.
We'll figure it out.
okay.
You can. Hey, I know exactly what we can do. You can have Prison Dom on one side, you can have Mercedes on the other, and then you have Willow right in the middle. So one side of her hair is Prison Dom, and one side of her hair is Mercedes. She's the divider.
There you go.
There you go.
Vince is a homie hopper.
Katie, you have any more spits or swallows?
I mean, I have
Kingdom Beads.
2
Okay.
that we haven't like talked about. I'm swallowing Carmelo Hayes and Apollo Crews.
Yes.
Yes, very much so.
Yes.
That's a match and that's the way you started the new year with NXT. Yes, because this is Carmelo's year. He's taken that title off of Braun because if Grayson Waller wins it, I'm done. I don't want him holding the title. But having the setup finally between Braun and Melo, which is kind of what we wanted at the end of last year, it makes sense. And you're having Melo beat Cruz, who just challenged. It makes sense. And Carmelo is a star, and Apollo's fantastic. And we knew this match was going to be awesome. I have to swallow it. Melo don't miss.
I'm with you. The only thing I don't give a fuck about Axiom and the mass. I don't. I get he's a really good wrestler. He came over from NXT UK. I'd rather not have him in the mask. The whole mathematician thing does not do it. It's not a good gimmick. So him coming out after and attacking Trick and we had a really good match, and then it just kind of came down for me because I don't give a fuck about Axiom.
I'm sorry. Yeah. Did you just say that someone's gimmick is math?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. He's like a math superhero.
Yeah, he wears a mask and he's really good at math, which helps him be really fast in the ring because he can calculate the angles and the trajectories to bounce and do things. Apparently, it's terrible. It's really fucking bad.
Yeah.
He is Nathan Frazier. Nathan Frazier is fucking fantastic. Let him be Nathan Frazier. But Axiom fucking sucks. The gimmick.
I mean, I was in and out of NXT, and I low-key forgot that even happened after the match. So that's why I didn't even remember. So I didn't write it down.
All right. Vince, do you have anything?
I'm all out. I'm actually going to use this opportunity to use the bathroom.
I'm going to spit Thea's crackhead gimmick because it's getting old. It's not doing it for me anymore. It was fun at first, and now it's kind of run its course. And unfortunately for me, and I said this 2 weeks ago, the whole Chase U thing is starting to kind of die out. I was really enjoying it. I was loving it. Now with the addition of Duke Hudson and everything they're doing, I am slowly just losing my interest in everything and everyone involved in Chase U now.
I wanted to have high hopes for Chase U. I really did. But you took out Bodie, you took out Blanco Dallas, and that hurt. That hurt my heart. And then you bring in Duke, which I was kind of okay with. But you're right. It's losing its je ne sais quoi. It's losing it, and that sucks. Because I love Andre Chase, I love Thea, Pittsburgh girl. I want her to be doing more things, not just Scrappy Doo, crackhead energy. Which is fine. You can do that every once in a while, but don't make it your entire identity, baby. No. I hate it. Sad.
What's your last spit and or swallow there, Katie?
Swallowing the probably besides Melo and Cruz, the best match on NXT, Alba Fire and Isla Dawn.
Mm-hmm.
I loved this match. Just beating the shit out of each other backstage. That went on for like 10 solid minutes, it felt like. Just them not even anywhere near a ring. We knew it was going to be like a street fight kind of thing anyways, which makes sense. And then finally getting the ring, Isla looking up at Alba before she tries to put her through the table. Doesn't succeed, but quickly gory bombs her through the table. It's such good storytelling between the two of them, especially because they do have history with each other. I want to know what happens next. Like, does Isla screw over Alba next week in the Battle Royal? I think they're both in it.
Yeah.
It would make sense if they were. So maybe something comes out of that. And then that leads to something at Vengeance Day, which I wouldn't be mad at. I don't know. I just like both of them. And Isla, spooky witch vibes. That's my shit. So
Ginger backstage death battle was one of my favorite things from NXT. Like they said fuck a match and they just started going at it and then finally got down to the ring. Like that's where it finished. But yeah, no, it was fun as shit. And again, it's letting your women in NXT do these things and be featured in these ways, because even on Raw, you're not seeing a women's match start in the back without getting broken up and then coming back to it 5 segments later. They battled from backstage through the backstage, said fuck everybody else, got to the ring, finished the match, and it was great, and they're both fantastic. And I commented that they're Bakley's sisters, and he needs to break that up, and he said Gingers are heroes because he is one.
What did I walk into?
The end of the show. Congratulations.
My last one, because I had 2 more, and that was one of them. Brooks maybe finally got Kiana James. Maybe he's going to lose his virginity.
What a turn of events. 2023 is his year.
I mean, B Squared's child looks terrible with that fucking hairdo, but hey, look, if it works, it works. Like, I hope he finally gets laid. Poor guy.
Listen, ugly guys, and I'm not saying he's ugly. He's not that bad. They pull hot chicks. It's science. And Kim James, listen, Kate is a gem and a beautiful woman. I would marry her. So like, I love her. But like, Keanu James, hot. This storyline, I kind of want this to happen for him. We need this. He needs something. They don't have the tag titles. Fallon got her bar. He needs to. I have a feeling
Fallon's gonna start having feelings for him, and that feud's gonna continue. I think that's where they're going.
Oh, I'm not feeling any of that.
No, you're not feeling Fallon Henley or Kiana James, so.
Which, shame.
I don't care enough about their characters right now. I don't hate them per se. They just haven't done anything that's interested me. I don't like Brooks and Jensen though, for sure.
All right, so we're gonna close this show here. But I thought about this and I thought, why not combine everything? So what we do is we take the Gaslighting Girl Boss, snowballing, and anal beads, and then everyone's happy. So the title is Gaslighting Girl Boss, Snowballing, and Anal Beads.
Weren't you just talking about along this title? You out here like
which long is the one that you proposed that we're going to make work. So if you can make that one work, you can make this work.
No, I was just saying homie hopping. But I've already like moved on from that one. Like I'm already off that train.
What if you just did gaslighting, snowballing, anal beads?
Gaslighting, snowballing, anal beads.
Gaslighting, snowballing.
Willow, what was your favorite choice since you are our guest?
I've got to say it was the Gaslighting Girl Boss.
Episode 275, Gaslighting Girl Boss.
Yes,
I'm sorry to say, but that was my favorite.
Yes.
We will allow
snowballing anal beads. What?
We will allow our guests to pick the title this week. And after that,
wait, somebody just said girl bosses, snowballing anal beads. That was actually pretty good.
Girl bosses, snowballing anal beads.
If you can make that work, we'll take that too, Vince.
Look, that's just because I love Will, I'd make anything work for him.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Girl Bosses Snowballing Anal Beads is the title.
I'm starting.
I still win. That's all that matters.
You do. You do.
We all win with that one.
Willow, please tell everyone where they can find you on the internet and all of the things you do while you're here on Pornhub in front of what I'm assuming is your target audience. Please plug yourself as much as possible without getting us in trouble.
Yes, so I am a spicy content creator. You can find me on all types of different adult websites. You can find them at willowraven.ca. So all the links will be on there. All my Twitter, my Instagram, all of my spicy pages, everything is on there. Willowraven.ca is the best place to find me.
If you want to see more of her, which I can guarantee you
a
will.
lot more.
So, Katie.
Yeah, I know. I got a lot. You can follow me on Twitter at KatieWrestling13 and Linktree. I'm about to take all things She Elite Showcase. Twitch.tv/She Elite Showcase, typically Thursdays, 6 p.m. Eastern. YouTube.com/She Elite Showcase. Anchor, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts if you want to listen. I'm in the crowd, I think, is a dead cause at this point. I'm not going to do a whole hell of a lot with it this year. I've decided I'm focusing mainly on the weekly show, She Elite Showcase, and my interview series, Inside the Mind of, which is coming back on Monday with Krista B from Those Wrestling Girls. I'm very excited. I already got my next one lined up. Willow, I will have to have you on, of course. We will talk. I already got, like I said, I got my next one lined up. I will have you on this year, I promise, because I got to get inside that mind. I'm excited. I do a lot of shows, so everything's on there. Like I said, I'm focusing mainly on those two this year.
Vince, we plugged that in the pre-show, so I'll do that when I plug my thing. But go ahead and plug yourself, Vince.
Okay,
it's been a while.
It's been a while. Let's see if I remember how to do this. You can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at SESVince. Click the link tree in my bio. Will take you to everything straight talk, racial worlds, better swallow, and Smackin It Raw. We just recently did a Chicago Bulls episode where we talk about more Chicago Bulls nonsense. Donovan Mitchell, 71 points. So if you like the basketballs, go watch that. We're dropping another episode next week, and we're doing one this weekend. So a lot of basketball content coming, and just more fun stuff. So if you like listening to me talking about something other than wrestling and anal beats, go ahead and follow me there.
What else is there than wrestling and anal beads?
She makes a good point.
Basketballs and butt plugs.
As always, you can follow me on Twitter at MyRithers at MATTRIDDER only. Also, Getting Off on Twitter at Getting Off. As I talked about it through the show, you guys know episodes coming. But Creation Conversation is returning this Monday. You can join me and Travis 1 Eastern, noon Central. We will be breaking down news for all that nerd-ish, and it will be a series. You will get a new episode with a different set of hosts every day, Monday through Friday. So please come and tune in and check that out and enjoy it as we break down the week in news. And like I said, it'll be me and Travis first thing on Monday. So please come check that out as well. Smackin It Raw, you guys can find on Facebook, facebook.com/group/Smackin It Raw. And then obviously at Matt Ritter, there are the link trees, linktree/Creation World, linktree/Smackin It Raw. We'll get you audio and everything, including Pornhub, where this will be available minus the pre and post shows tomorrow in video form. And I will tag everyone in it so they can go check that out as well. So please follow everyone here. We thank you. It felt really good to be back after 2 weeks. I missed you guys so much. And it was great working with you for the first, but hopefully not the last time, Willow, because this was a blast.
Thank you so much for having me. I had a great time.
All right. For Willow, Katie, and Vince, I am the patron saint of podcasting, the Word Matt Ritter, and this has been the #1 wrestling podcast on Pornhub.
There you go.
All right. Why? Listen, this is her first time here. I'm gonna need people to stop. Like, I don't want to scare her away with the rack, so people need to stop talking about the rack and in the comments and on the show. Like, let's ease her into being introduced to that character. Also, it's been 2 weeks, and I'm just trying to get back into podcasting, let alone doing characters and gimmicks and shit. Like, calm down, guys, chill.
The rack. Listen,
The rack does not show.
I had a lot of the rack in 2022.
Listen, the best show of Inside the Mind is Inside the Mind of the Rack. Let me just say, hands down.
Over the one about your wife.
Yes,
Okay.
but she is a very close second. Like Inside the Mind of Kate, right under Inside the Mind of the Rack. I'm just saying.
Jesus.
Just the rack was a time.
The Rack will be back in 2023. Do not worry. So it's a character that I have done where I do a Dusty Rhodes impression with a little bit of sugar in the tank. And I basically just kind of harass and sexually harass my guests and co-hosts as this character when I put sunglasses on. That's all it really is.
I like that it's like the sunglasses suddenly is what like which is
Oh yeah, that's what does
where
it.
they live.
And they're right here at all times.
Oh my god.
I just.
But yeah, Inside the Mind of Allison would be cool too.
She's on my list. Don't worry. I'm making it happen.
Listen.
I'm working through people. Oh no.
What?
Ladies and gentlemen, finally the Rack has come back. Oh, hello, how are you? What are you doing down here? Where are you from? Why is your hair swings like the Rack does both ways? Two different colors.
You could also say like me. That was right there.
Like you too, but we already know that about you. This is new, Katie. We have a new guest.
He's free.
Oh my gosh.
You look
The chat's
Canadian.
going off.
Oh, and there's Vince. Hi, Vince. I heard you were having issues lasting. Something about not finishing too quick. Was that what the Rack heard earlier on in the show?
No, I was just curious as to how long everybody lasts.
No. What you
like
said was that your girlfriend, who has also told everyone that you masturbate to videos on the internet of people that look like that idiot Matt Ritter, that you take it as a compliment because she told you that you finished quickly, or she takes it as a compliment that you finished quickly. That is what I swear I heard at the beginning of the show.
She does.
Okay, so
She does.
So then there's spray for that. I could send you some. Like it'll help
okay.
numb the bits and pieces, the chorizo. So it
No, it's more of a situation where like it's just so good that you just can't help it. But there's other times where like there's peaks and valleys with the time gap.
Can I? Okay.
Yes.
I've had this conversation so many times with a lot of my like sex worker friends on what people think the appropriate amount of time for sex is.
Right.
And I want to know what yours is. Like what do you think is like the sweet spot for the amount of time? Like without foreplay, just
without foreplay, anything like
yeah.
Honestly, like a couple of minutes, but the important thing is that we both come. Like
Okay.
if one of us hasn't come, then we haven't finished.
Okay.
That's usually my philosophy.
So I will agree with Vince. I think it is more about the destination than the length of the trip or the ride. However, generally I'd say about 10 to 15 minutes or so. Anything longer than that is just a waste of energy that could be used to do something else. Lego, whatever you do after you finish what you are doing.
Just don't step on those Legos
the
afterwards.
The Rack busts a nut, and then he goes and puts together a Lego set. Like it is fun. The mind
Speaking
and the
of
body.
Lego sets,
Yeah,
I saw this really cool like Lego set that's like a bouquet of flowers that she
I keep
showed
seeing that
me.
on
Oh
Twitter.
man, that's really cool, and I kind of want to get that now.
So anyway, that's the Rack, and now the chat is happy. So it exists.
Amazing.
Um,
No,
Wow, you really caved.
you
Okay.
you answered with like some good answers though, because like the amount of men that I've talked to who are like an hour. Like
No.
in what world do I want someone like pounding my pussy for an hour? Just straight up with nothing else? You're not even gonna go down there and like help me out for a minute?
Right.
And and that's why I agree with Vince's. I think it's more so that both people finish than the amount of time it takes for both people to finish. As long as both people have a good time and they finish, whether you want to go for round two after you have a cigarette and a drink or whatever you do, smoke some weed, come back to it, or take a breather.
Put together a few Legos, come back.
Yeah, exactly. Put together a quick Lego set, come back. Like it's not what I don't really think the length of time is important. It's just that everyone finishes and enjoys what's going on there. Like
A good
that's
sweet spot.
gotta
A good
focus on.
sweet spot is like maybe like anywhere between 5 to like 15 to 20 minutes. Like if it's just nothing but penetration. If you're switching positions, if you're on the same position for 15 minutes, I might get a cramp, or my knees might buckle. I can't do it.
I'm not Will. I get drug tested. My wife, however, is. So like in my younger days, no problem. Now I don't have the core strength that I used to. Certain positions, I like start to get a cramp. Like I can't go the way I did in my early 20s at
Question.
35.
And this is primarily a question for Matt, but if you guys want to answer, that's fine. When you get into that situation where you're like you can't go because like either you're cramping or like you don't got the stamina or whatever, do you have like a sweet spot one that's kind of like your safety net position that you're like, I can stay in this for a while and it's gonna be good?
The question's for me.
Yes.
Yeah, no, I just roll over onto my back and I put my wife on top. And I can just kind of stretch out and here we go. Like,
Fix the cramp.
yeah, exactly.
Similar, but it's the side cuddle spoon position that's our go-to. And then honestly, when I'm like, I'm getting tired, I'm like, okay, let's go to that because that always gets the job done. So that's my usual like, okay, my knees hurt. Let's switch.
I got bad knees. Shit, I feel that.
Love a spooning position. So nice.
I agree. But I also just like to roll over on my back and be like, all right, your turn. I need to stretch. Side hurts. So.
I'm glad you thought that. Nobody else did.
Call what?
I said you become the pillow princess.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm perfectly fine with that. You know me. I've got no shit.
Pillow princess, Matt Ritter.
Oh yeah, someone mentioned that they're too tall for side cuddle and spooning position, and I've had that problem before. The height differential is definitely.
Hey, Kofi Wheatston's in the chat. Shout out, Kofi. What you doing, man? You know what? If you have someone in there with you that's about your height, then it can work. It can work. But you know, I can't relate because I'm only a 5'7" Mexican, so you know the struggle's not real for me.
Kofi, you just got to find taller women. That's all.
Yeah, that's true.
I love how like we did Smackin' It Raw, we did the wrestling, and now this is like Dr. Ruth smacking it after hours.
Isn't that what
now's the time we would normally be starting.
That is true.
Yes.
Yeah, it's 1:15 for me, so that would be late for you, girl.
Yeah, and I am actually gonna end this. I want to again, everyone that hung out and did this with us, thank you, Willow. Thank you for joining us. I hope you had fun and you want to come back.
I had a great time.
We would love to have you back. Katie, Vince, I love you both, and I missed you so much over the last 2 weeks. So thank you for clearing your schedules to do the show that you do every week. And yeah, but I also have to pack my car up with shit, get up in the morning, go put a door in, and a bunch of other shit. So.
Fun.
I'm going to end the show unless Vince wants to stay on and chat. I was gonna go.
No, I think I'm gonna just call it a night.
Yeah, the next few weeks is until I get into the new house and settled is going to be a lot of short post shows, so I can pack a car. And I've got so much. Like I did not have all this shit when I moved into this house, and I literally have made a trip to this new house every day for the last 2 weeks with a load of bullshit in my car. And I'm looking around at all the shit that I haven't packed yet. And I'm like, where did all of this come from? Now, I know where I had a child and the wife. So like, that's where 75% of it came from. But like, there's so like nothing in this office really is packed. And I'm like, this is the smallest room in the house. Like there's so much shit to move still.
You packed a lot in that small little space, I see.
Yeah, I did. Yeah. I'm good at fitting a lot into a small space.
There it is.
And that's the one to grow on, folks. Well, I mean, like in the meantime, like unless like my schedule prohibits it, like I wouldn't mind like keeping up with like a later post show if you just want to sign off.
Yeah,
I'm cool with it. Like I'll open invites to whoever wants to jump in. Will, Just, Jeebus. everyone.
All I need you to do
Allison.
is make sure you have that thumbnail with girl bosses snowballing anal beads ready to go.
I'm gonna work on that as soon as we hop off.
That is your only job
Beautiful.
right now.
All right. Well, Willow, thank you again. Have a lovely night. Katie, Vince,
Was it
I'll
good?
see you guys next week.
Yep.
Well,
And
in the chat.
well,
In the
yeah,
chat.
you'll be in the chat. You're
Yeah.
off next week. And to the chat, thank you guys for joining us. We love you. We appreciate you. I'm sure you're going to be getting a bunch of DMs to do shows now because, well, I know.
I hope so. I love doing shows.
So,
We'll talk.
all right.
Yeah.
Bye, everybody.
Bye. Thanks again.
Bye.